All right. It's almost time for us to get started. We'll just give it one more minute. We'll start at 7:05 so we can have a few more folks zoom in. Hopefully we're able to get enough people here. I see we got a couple of folks that are going to be doing some presentations. Looking for, oh, there he is right there, Mike Leary. Okay, I'll make Mike Leary a co-host just in case you need to share your screen there. And I see that we also have David Gonzalez on the call from Davco Insurance. And we'll just give it a couple more seconds to see how many more other folks are able to zoom in, and then we'll just go ahead and get started. And Michael Dennis, if you could help me out there whenever folks are asking to join, if you can just go ahead and admit them, please, that'd be great. Looking for Pete Wilson, not sure if he's on the call right now. I usually ask him to help out with the call log, with the chat, because I don't monitor that. So hopefully if he joins us, we can do that. Let's go ahead and get started, you guys. Wednesday, June 15, 2022, 7:05 in the evening, TW Local 250A General Membership Meeting. So we might not have a super long meeting like we had last time. Last month, it was, I think, more than 3 hours long. And that's because we had several guest speakers. We had our legal counsel team with us as well. We do have a couple of folks joining us today. We have David Gonzalez from Davco Insurance, and we also have Mike Leary from Back First. So why don't we go ahead and start off with, oh, there's Pete Wilson right there. Let's start off with Mr. David Gonzalez. David, if you need to share your screen, please feel free to share your screen and take it away. The next 10 to 15 minutes are yours for whatever it is that you have to share with us. And just a brief intro, you guys. So David Gonzalez, he's been working with TW Local 250A for many years, several decades, actually. He's helped out many of our members, both active and retirees, and he's still in the fight, just as we all are. So David, please go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, Roger. Pleasure being with you all this evening. I didn't know if I would have the ability to share my screen, so I didn't prepare anything in that vein. So please excuse me for that. But before I begin this evening, I would like to acknowledge two individuals that have been insureds of mine for over 25 years. Who are retiring June 30th, the end of this month, taking advantage of that COLA, going in before the fiscal year begins. So that's excellent that they're doing it on that basis. But Clarence Griffin out of Metro East, congratulations to you, Clarence. I don't know if you're on the call this evening or not, but I would like to acknowledge you, and as well as Dorian Llanos out of Potrero Barn. So congratulations to both of them on a career, accolades, both excellent drivers for all those years serving the city and county of San Francisco. So now, in identifying myself to all of you, I am the owner of Davco Financial Insurance Services, and I've been providing benefits for 250A members for about 30 years now. And as Roger was saying, I'm still in the fight, because the fight remains, and the fight in this instance is the correct information. And that's what I've always worked towards providing the members of 250A with, is the accurate information on whatever financial services or insurance questions that they have. So that's what I'm continuing to do. Now, in my 30 years of providing that type of service to the membership, there's been one constant request, and that's been for on and off the job disability insurance that would help pay what workers' compensation or SDI doesn't pay. And as the years went by, and decades for that matter, the insurance companies became harder and harder to find who would be willing to provide this type of coverage for transit operators. And as a matter of fact, after being approached to see what I could do about bringing a new plan to local 250A members, it took me over a year, one full year, to finally find an insurance company that was not only willing to talk to me, but one that would actually negotiate with me to come up with a plan. So now, for some of you, this will not make sense to sign up for. That could be because you either have an old plan that would or has paid you for being off payroll due to either an on or off the job injury, illness, or you're retiring like Darian and Clarence in this instance, or for other reasons. And believe me, that's fine. This is strictly an optional plan available to all local 250A members. And by all members, it means that if some of you or someone you work with has health issues where you or they can't get this kind of plan without exclusions or at all, this plan guarantees that if you apply for it, you'll be issued coverage in the amount you applied for. Now, this plan pays a tax-free monthly benefit of your choice, anywhere from $600 per month to a maximum of $2,000, in addition to workers' compensation or SDI. Now, the monthly premiums, they range from $35.04 a month up to $109.80 per month on a per pay period, per paycheck period. That's like $54, $55 maximum to pay period. So for more information, you can call me at 415-334-5725. Again, that's 415-334-5725. Or go to your union's website, twusf.org. Click on links, then click on important links. Scroll down until you come to DAFCO Financial Insurance Services and click on that. It will take you to my agency's website where I prepared a 5-minute overview of the financial services we provide and have been providing for 30 years, including providing you with a service retirement summary, which is very important in this day and age, or any day and age for that matter. Or if you just want to request information about this off and on the job disability insurance plan, just click on Paycheck Protection Plan on the site, fill in the yes, I want more information box, then click on the Learn More tab, and that's it. So again, thank you for allowing me to speak to you this evening, and please, all of you, be well out there.
All right, thank you very much for that short information, very important information, financial information from David Gonzalez. And I do want to say this, you guys, David Gonzalez is not a stranger. He is a friend. He's a neighbor. Like I stated earlier, he has been with us for many, many years, several decades, actually. He's still doing lots of work with many of our members. And just a brief history, once again, David actually used to show up to many of the Operator of the Month and system-wide events years ago, until the agency changed their policy. And I think they stated that you were no longer allowed to come due to what was it, liability or something like that, Dave? But David did used to show up.
It was an obscure management dictum handed down to all the superintendents. And all the superintendents knew me from years. Even some of them were operators before. So they knew me from years and years and knew what I did. All I did was, I was the only business owner for over 25 years that showed up for all 7 divisions each and every month to recognize the job that operators did for Operator of the Month awards. Because previously, for the system-wide, everybody used to show up. Assembly, state senators, congressional offices, they had people come in for system-wide, but the Operator of the Month, very little turnout. So I made certain that I showed up for them each and every year, each and every month over all those years. And Michael Leary and your organization was also included in that as well. And you served the operators very, very well. It's good to see you, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think that obscure rule was 4,723 ABZD. Something was made up.
All right, thank you for that, David Gonzalez. We'll take a couple of questions for you, David Gonzalez. I see we have 2 people here. It says Brendan Bartholomew, and then we have iPhone. So let's go Brendan Bartholomew and then iPhone. Go ahead, Brendan. You need to unmute yourself.
Thank you, Roger. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, Brendan.
Okay, before I ask my question of Mr. Gonzalez, I just want to say to Mr. Leary, nice to see you. it was a terrible gut punch when the agency severed its relationship with your organization. Thank you for all you've done for us. Glad to see you back. And having said that, my question for Mr. Gonzalez, does AFLAC give us something similar to what you're talking about? Because one of my coworkers recently was injured while not on the job, and I didn't have a chance to ask him for the details, but he said to me, thank God for AFLAC. So are AFLAC customers also receiving some kind of paycheck protection or no?
I'm not up to date on what AFLAC is currently doing, but I know in the past, they provided an on and off the job, and then they soon discovered that too many claims, too much money going out. So we'll just provide cancer coverages and off the job only. But again, as I made in my opening statement, if you've got an old policy from an AFLAC or a Colonial for that matter, if you're that old, then you might have on and off the job coverage. And if you're satisfied with that, great, keep it. But if you have some questions about it, get in touch with me. I'll be glad to go over it with you and even make a call to them to clarify just exactly what your coverage is.
And so it sounds like what you're saying, the bottom line is if we pay your provider $109 a month, what we're getting is an extra $2,000 a month over and above workers' comp and over and above SDI if we happen to be injured off of the job. So basically it sounds like this is not something that'll replace our paycheck, but it's a nice supplement if we're relying on a workers' comp check or an SDI check.
Yeah, throughout the years, I've always counseled operators that the most important thing is don't fall into that trap of saying, well, I've got insurances, this plan and that plan and the other. You're losing service time. And that's what's most important is your service retirement. And so, stay on a job if you can, obviously you can. But this is just to provide you and make certain that you can take care of your family if instances arrive where you got bills to pay. It's not meant to you can take a trip to Hawaii on your disability payments. So yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Great question. Thank you, Brendan.
Appreciate it.
All right, thank you for that. And next up, we have iPhone. iPhone, you have to unmute yourself. Go ahead, iPhone.
Hi, my name is Presidio Division, Juan Salazar Coleman. First of all, Dave Cole, I want to thank you for your dedication to Transport Workers Local 250A, in addition to the members of SFMTA. I've been at the agency for 22 years. I met you when I was at Patrol Division. I am so devastated and disgusted and feel like regurgitating on how the treatment that you received when you were looking out for the betterment of our membership. In fact, I enrolled in some of the policies that you provided for our members. It hurts me because at the simple fact that when they blatantly, the agency came to me and said, "Oh, that you were no longer allowed on the property," I was devastated because anything that's a positive for the operators, the stakeholders, it's not the Julie, it's the stakeholders that's trying to tell Julie Kirschbond, Jeffrey, whatever his name is, him and everybody else to not let everything flow through for the betterment of our operators. I seriously want to tell you, and how my heart feels, I want to thank Roger Marenco from the bottom of my heart to bring you in. Michael Leary, you did an awesome job. You retained the position associated with individuals who had workman's comp injuries. If it wasn't for you, we would not have any care. The agency just don't give a F about us. I'm sorry, Michael Leary, you know me, I'm straight, direct, and stuff like that. And that's why I'm glad to have a president like Roger Marenco. Other presidents did not stand out like he did for the betterment of our operators. Everybody know that me and Roger went back and forth, but we set our differences aside associated with for the betterment of our membership. And this shit really hurts me bad I remember when you came to me, Michael Leary, when the agency was shutting you down. It was screwed up. I watched you hustle from division to division, and you were getting operators better when we had workman comp issues. And you also were saving the agency money when you did that. So now I'm hurt right now. I'm heart-filled. I'm upset because Dayco, you made a difference at the agency. And at this time, on behalf of my procedural operators, President Roger Marenco, and Transport Workers Local 258, I want to thank you for your due diligence of trying to make a better place for us. So hopefully Roger Marenco can get this restored for the betterment of our operators. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that, Chairperson from Presidio, Coleman. Really do appreciate that. And, you know, David, those kind words and those words of wisdom, as you can see, they let you know that you have friends here in SFMTA, in Muni, and TWU Local 258. You have operators here that are ready, willing, and able to, you know, reach out to you for a helping hand, for financial information, etc. So even though you were not allowed anymore because of, you know, upper management or whatever the case may be to show up physically in person to these system-wide events that we used to have at the divisions, you're still welcome here as a friend and as an ally of ours. All right, David Gonzalez?
Thank you.
Feel free to stay on board, you know, in case you want to hear what Michael Leary has to say, or in case there might be any other questions or comments for you later on, and feel free to zoom out as you see fit. Okay, David Gonzalez. And also, if you want to type your phone in and your email address in the chat there, that'd be great as well. Okay. All right, before we get to Michael Leary from Back First, I do want to state that we have Lan Lao on the call, and Lan Lao, I think, is only going to be available with us for a couple of minutes. So what I want to do is I want to share our bylaws with everybody on the call here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen quickly. Right. So here we go. All right, I'm going to share my screen, and there it is right there. Okay. Michael Dennis, can you give me a thumbs up if you can see that? My screen sharing? Okay, perfect. So this is the Transport Workers Union Local 258 bylaws. All right. And if you go to page 8, Article 6, Section 3. We're going to go ahead and zoom in real quick. There it is, right there. We'll put it up on the big screen there. Okay. It says, in the event of a vacancy among the local executive board members, division chairs, the local executive board shall, from among the membership of the division with the vacancy by majority vote, fill that vacant office for the unexpired term. Now I'm going to stop sharing my screen and go back here and let everybody know, remind everybody that during this round of contract negotiations, we were able to acquire one more union chairperson, and we went through this process that I just read to you guys, and Lan Lao went through this process, and TW Local 258 went through this process, and Lan Lao will now be the new chairperson, the 9th chairperson. So Green will have its own chairperson, and MME will have its own chairperson, because those are two divisions separated by time, space, distance, etc. So what remote chairperson Aldames used to do was he used to go back and forth to both of these barns, to both of these divisions, using up his own vehicle, his gasoline. It would take a lot of time, etc. And so to alleviate that stress and burden, we were able to come up with this. So through the process that I just read to you guys, we went through the process, and TW Local 258 Executive Board elected Lan Lao to be the next union chairperson. So I do want to ask Chairperson Lan Lao, first and foremost, I want to say congratulations, Lan Lao. And I wanted to ask Lan Lao if you can unmute yourself and just say a couple of words, please.
Yes, thank you, Roger. Thank you, everybody's support. I will try my best for the next 6 months uh, for to try the best to do as a union chair at the Green. I'll try the best to help the operators, treating everybody fair. And thank you for executive board for the support. I really appreciate it. I will do my best. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Now, and we will always be here. Everybody here will be here to assist you in whatever way, shape, or form, so we can continue helping out our members with information, education, improving our general working conditions, whatever the case may be. So once again, congratulations, Lan Lao.
Thank you, Roger. I gotta go. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Lan. Okay, I do want to bring on board next. I see we have one question here, or somebody has a question. So it's Min Lu 3796. We'll take that one question and then we'll just carry on with the program, and we'll just save all the other questions towards the end. Otherwise, some of the guest speakers might have to zoom out sooner rather than later. So we will take this one question prior to Mike Leary. So go ahead, Min Lu 3796. You have to unmute yourself, Min Lu 3796.
Hey, Roger.
Hi, Min.
Regarding that situation, on the tentative, that section was clearly crossed out, and then it got approved at the end for the final try.
Min, are you still there?
Chairs.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
You were getting cut off, Min. Do me a favor, and can you go ahead and repeat the question, please?
Yeah, about the 2 union chairs. On the tentative, that one section was crossed out, but then on the final contract, we were able to attain that union chair. So I'm wondering what happened right there.
Okay, so what you were looking at was not the, it was how can I say this? When you go back and forth in negotiations, you give a proposal and then the agency takes it and then they change it and then we get it. And then we make changes and then we give it back and then they change it and then we get it. And then we make changes and then we give it back, and it goes back and forth. It's a back and forth dialogue discussion. And there's a lot of handwritten notes. There's a lot of crossing out, etc. So what you are looking at is probably one of the first original draft versions. In the final version, we were able to change it to 9 chairpersons. So I'm going to pull up the, what do you call this? The TW Local 250A website. I'm going to share it with you so you can see what it is that I am referencing. So give me one quick minute just to show you what it is that I'm talking about. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen, Min, so you can see it and then follow along. Okay. Okay, Min, can you see the screen right there that I'm sharing? Can you see the screen?
Yeah, I can see the screen.
Okay, so you see where it says 9163 transit operator red line. I click on that. So we go down to where it says, I believe it's Article 22, I believe. Let's see. What article was that? Let me see. Maybe it was 24. If somebody knows the article, go ahead and let me know. Where is that? Here it is right here, 24. Transport worker. Okay, so here it is right here. Section 24.3, 299. So this is the red line MOU right here. You see it? It says 9 in red. So that's what was changed right there. What you were looking at was where there was a whole bunch of writing at the very bottom. Is that correct? You were looking at all the writing on the bottom of the paragraph, right?
No, I was looking at the tentative on the union website.
Right. This is the tentative right here. This is the, excuse me, not the tentative. This is the red line MOU. Now, if you look at the tentative, watch, I'll show you. Okay. You see right here where it says 9163 transit operators? Watch, I'm gonna click on that one. Watch what happens. So these are the tentative agreements that were signed off, and you know, it's called the dirty version because you see it has writing all over it. You see that? Has writing, it has signatures, it has highlights. So these are the TAs that were signed off. Now, watch what happens when I scroll down and I find that specific section that you're talking about, okay? We're scrolling down. This is all on the website. You guys are following along here. Watch, here we go. I'm looking for it. And we are coming up. Here it is right here. So this is the one that you're talking about right here. See, with all the stuff that is crossed out. You see that? So that's what was signed off on. And after cleaning it up, it looks like this. Does that make sense, man?
Yeah, it makes sense. But then I was just wondering if anything else was modified from the tentative. That's what.
There was nothing that was modified. All of the tentative agreements that you're looking at right here at this very web page, at this site, turned into the red line, which is now this one here that I just clicked over. The red line just means that it's a cleaner version of what we already agreed upon. So that's why you might have gotten confused with this one here that you're looking at, because there's a lot of crossing out, there's a lot of writing. The intent is there, the knowledge is understood, and that's why you might have, some people might have gotten a little confused, but that's what it is right there. We have 9 chairpersons now. Does that clear things up?
Yeah, it clears things up.
Cool, awesome. And thank you for that question, Min. Very important to clear things up. And just to remind everybody, there are elections coming up in 6 months, December of 2022. I have always encouraged everybody. I am encouraging everybody still at this moment. If you want to get more involved, please do it. And check in with your union dues to make sure that you're up to date with your union dues, and run for office. May the best person win. And if we are voted out, then guess what? I will shake the next person's hand and say, congratulations. Here's the binder of what it is that we have done. Here's a list of all of the contact information that you need to contact if in case X, Y, and Z happens. Here's a list of all of the bills that need to get paid on a monthly basis. And here you go. When we were came into these positions, we were not offered anything similar to that, but we have been building binders and sort of templates, protocols in terms of how to, move forward accordingly. And so, the next group of people that come in, they will at least have a little bit of an agenda or protocol in terms of how to make things run efficiently. So elections are in December of 2022. And if you want to step up to the plate and run for office, please do it. Every single position is up for re-election, and may the best person win. All right, you guys? Mike Leary, we have Mike Leary on the call, you guys. If you guys remember, Mike Leary is from Back First. He's with Back First. We, TWU Local 258, we're doing anything and everything that we could to try and help save him and the Back First program, because like Chairperson Coleman stated, it was and still is an absolutely important and essential part of in improving our health and safety, both on the job and off the job. And, Mike Leary and I have been talking for a long time to see what we can do in terms of bringing him and his crew back on the platform, because as you heard Chairperson Coleman state, he is one of the factors and entities, along with David Gonzalez, that are just extremely helpful for our membership. So Mike Leary from Back First, please go ahead.
Great. Thank you, Roger. And, I got to say, seeing the faces and hearing the voices, wow, it's been 2.5 years, and it feels like I left the family, and it kind of hurt. So this is kind of like a little family reunion for me. For some of those that I don't recognize, yes, this was a 20-year program, providing wellness, injury prevention, exercises to the operators and maintenance workers. And in response to a quick, it was defunded in April of 2020, and your leadership, and as Juan said, Roger went to bat big time. He went head to head with Tomlin, and so many operators spoke at the MTA board meeting to reinstate the program. Just the portion that I really wanted was that for the divisions, but ultimately it was cut. And last fall, out of the blue, and maybe it was just the pressure, the chatter, I was contacted by management, and they said that they had some funding to provide a portion of the program, an important portion of the program, that they would like to have reinstated into the divisions. And that is the personal training. That is a trainer coming to the divisions and providing exercise guidance, showing individuals who are having back pain how to stretch out their back, shoulder pain, neck pain, just some simple things, using the little wellness gyms that are in each of the divisions. I lobbied for blood pressure. No blood pressure. I said, wow, there's a lot of hypertension, but I won't go down that path. But I was able to secure something that initially they said no, and that was chair massage. Not as much as before, but I said, you got it, you got it. I had nothing to lose, so I didn't really care, but I said, you have to imagine commuting to work and then driving a coach. Those chair massages are just, man, they're life-saving. So there'll be some chair massage too. So this program consists of two things. It's going to consist of personal exercise instruction at 11 sites. That's really spread thin, so it's going to be 2 to 3 hours a week at each site. And chair massage, it'll be just a few hours a month, but at each site. So not to the extent it was before, but there will be these services. And as I said, there won't be the cholesterol checks, the blood pressure checks, the seminars. It'll be those two things. And they were very adamant about it's just going to be those two things. This is a 2-year program. And in the discussions, their response was, if there's a lot of participation or enough participation in 2 years, 2-year program, it will be expanded to a larger program. Now, this is your program. It really is your program. And I told Roger this on the phone the other day. At the end of 1.5 to 2 years, I really would like to see you determine what it is that you want there. Whether or not I'm going to continue on or not, but I know what benefited the operators, and I know how dedicated our team was, and the interaction was so positive. And hopefully we'll get a little traction with 1 or 2 trainers spread out. But it's a start again. It is a start, and it is for you. Unfortunately, that staff that we had, it's been 2.5 years, they've moved on. Jan has moved on. Not too far. I think she's going to make a cameo appearance or two because she stays in touch with a lot of people there. I think she's been to a couple weddings even. So she's part of the family in a big way. But for right now, it's going to be 2 years starting in July. I'm in the, I've been interviewing. I was at Potrero a couple days this past week, or last week and this week. I'll be at Flynn on Monday. I'm interviewing. I want to get the right person or persons because the staff I had, they moved on. They're left the state, grad school, work, whatever. I will throw it out there. If any of you have a niece or a nephew, there was a DPT fellow that I just loved, but he just couldn't pull the trigger. He's working full time. He wanted to do it in a big way. So a PCO. But if you know of anyone, feel free to get in contact with me. Just contact Roger. He has my phone, and if you know someone. But I so appreciate this time. I am so appreciative of all the operators who spoke on our behalf for the program. And Roger, you put your neck on the line, and that speaks volumes. So thank you. And I believe it's from that the Phoenix has risen from the ashes a little bit, and we'll get some traction again for these 2 years, and perhaps we'll get the bigger program, or you'll have the bigger program at that time. So thank you again. July, we'll fire it up. You'll see my face as I'll be introducing this person. So thank you. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much for that, Michael Leary with Back First. So you guys, I want to reiterate what Mike Leary just stated. The program belongs to us. If we are able to utilize it, take advantage of it, use its resources, expand on it, then we will be able to continue to hopefully expand on the program to what it once was. Therefore, with that being stated, I want to expand that not just to the Back First program, but also to David Gonzalez, Davco Insurance. I want to expand that notion to the runs that we have. Everything belongs to us. What do I mean by that? The runs belong to us. The running time belongs to us. If you need more running time on your schedule, if it's not working, guess what? Work the rules, follow the speed limit, take that 702 whenever it's necessary. Do not break the speed limit. Those things belong to us. Back First belongs to us if we utilize it. DAFCO belongs to us if we utilize it. The runs belong to us if we utilize it and we play the game and work the rules. So if we do not take advantage of what is already in our hands, on our lap, in front of our table, then we're not going to be able to utilize it to its full potential. So just to reiterate those words that Michael Leary just stated, is absolutely imperative to understand it, to know it, and to own it, to act on it. When it's out there, utilize it, take advantage of it. That way the agency knows that what it is that we need, what it is that we're utilizing. So please take full advantage of that. I see one person has their hand raised, and then we'll carry on with the program. So it says Christian Reyes. Go ahead, Christian Reyes. Hopefully it pertains to either David Gonzalez or Michael Leary. You have to unmute yourself, Christian Reyes.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Good evening. Again, I'm from Flint Division. My name is Christian. Last name is Reyes. You'll be starting to hear a little bit of me more often. I'll be assisting these meetings more often. Now that I'm out of the military, I'm back in as a transit operator, and I'm gonna go full blown as a new participant of the union and possibly hold one of those positions up there one of these days. But I appreciate that program that Mr. Michael Leary is talking about. One thing though I want to mention that you just mentioned, Roger, something about the runs, the run time. This is something that we need to see right now that we're about to sign on this new on this new bid. There's a lot of runs out there, especially the 14R, that only give us like 43 minutes from main and mission all the way to Daly City BART. And I see people speeding, trying to catch up to their leader, trying to make time when it's impossible. Whoever made this planning does not know what they're doing. They do not know what they're doing, and whoever's making this planning needs to come on a ride along with a safe operator who knows how to operate from point A to point B, and they will see that 43 minutes, 44 minutes, 45 minutes from main and mission to Daly City BART, it's impossible to make unless you're doing 35 or 45 on a 25 on mission. That's impossible. Not even 25 miles per hour you can do on mission. It's impossible. And on top of that, you wouldn't be making all the lights. You'll be taking all the red lights. You'll be skipping stops. That's the only way you can make those 43 minutes. I don't know who's accepting this bidding, this planning, this scheduling, this running time, but this needs to be fixed, this next sign up. That's one thing I want to talk about. But yeah, that's my opinion for now. I'll stay on top, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Christian Reyes, and good luck on your campaign for December 2022. Good luck with that. Okay, that does it, I believe, for our two guest speakers for today, David Gonzalez and/or Mike Leary. Any other final questions, thoughts, inquiries, recommendations for our folks here?
Very quickly, again, thank you for your time and I'll sign off. But just to piggyback on what you said, when this new trainer comes in and comes into Woods or comes into Green or Presidio, and you see this person and, these are big buildings, lots happening. Welcome them, go out of your way. Introduce yourself, make them feel welcome, and just make it a win-win. So thank you again, and I'm going to sign off now. David, thank you for your kind words as well, and Brendan, and of course, Roger. Keep it going, baby. Keep it going. I love it.
Very much. Thank you, Mike
Okay.
Leary.
Thank you.
David Gonzalez, any last words before you sign off?
Just it's gone from generation to generation. I've seen people who have retired and their children have become 9163s and do well for themselves within the system that they are part of throughout the years. And as a native San Franciscan, it always warms my heart to see the generational things that you all have to go through on a daily basis in these challenging times. And so, as always, I salute you, and anything I can do to answer any of your questions regarding whatever within the ramifications of what my agency presents to you as benefits, just call on me. I'm here for you. And thank you again for allowing me to visit with you all today. And Michael, Godspeed.
Thank you for that, David Gonzalez. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Have a good evening and reach out anytime. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, next up, you guys, update. I do want to remind everybody our new contract, our new MOU is going to be starting on July 1st of this year. So congratulations to us. And keep this in mind, it's only a 2-year contract. We will be renegotiating literally December of next year, preparing, new proposals and going at it again. So good job on that. We are planning a contract MOU ratification party, picnic, barbecue sometime next month in July. And so we will let you know as soon as we're able to lock in a date, time, and location. So please do whatever it is that you can to try and show up for our first in-person big event that we are planning for our members. Also planning for our members in terms of in person, we are doing the best that we can to try to start having meetings in person. Once again, I'm not sure how the majority of you guys feel about that, but that does build lots of camaraderie, brotherhood, sisterhood, unionization, so we're trying to get back into doing that as well. Food, of course, for our members that show up. And we're also trying to look into some type of a hybrid situation for those that cannot join us in person, to try to do some type of a Zoom. So we're looking into that for next month. So we'll keep you posted. We'll keep you updated on that. Hopefully we can start seeing folks in person instead of on the screen. Next up, in terms of updates, want to let you guys know that JLMB facilitator Ron Mitchell will be retiring in the next couple of days. Ron Mitchell has been with us for over 30 years. He's been the JLMB facilitator for a really long time. He pretty much helped establish, create, and build the foundation for the entire JLMB process and agendas that we have pertaining to JLMB. Many issues and items fall under JLMB, which is the Joint Labor Management Board. Everything from health and safety to runs, schedules, operator morale, restrooms, almost everything falls pretty much under JLMB, and he's done a great job in terms of holding down that entire department. Oftentimes he's been sort of a one-man army out there in terms of holding it down, and he is passing the torch on to Alina Galloway, who will be our new JLMB facilitator. So congratulations, Alina Galloway. She's not on the call right now. I think she's out somewhere in the US trying to do some vehicle procurement, I think, or something like that. I'm not sure. But Alina Galloway has stepped up to the plate. TWU Local 258 Executive Board unanimously approved her for the new JLMB facilitator position. So congratulations, Alina, and good luck, Ron Mitchell, on your retirement. Great job. Thank you for everything that you have done for us. Next up, I wanted to ask Pete Wilson, any other updates from you that you would like to inform the members before we open it up to the executive board members and the union chairpersons and any other union reps? Pete Wilson? Go ahead, Pete. Oh, there you go. Sorry. Go ahead, Pete.
Thank you, Roger. I just want to let everybody know it was that the issue of inconvenience time / travel pay for green operators. So inconvenience pay mostly affected the rail operators and trolley operators when, for instance, the 33 for a long time was closed down. The wires were closed down and we were pulling out buses out of woods. Whenever, say, there's the Lunar New Year's or the Castro Street Fair or any street fair, and we have to drive diesel buses. The agency was paying people for some years to, instead of reporting to Presidio, I had to report to Woods. They were paying inconvenience pay. They were paying green operators who pulled out of green and ended up in MME to get back to green. And during the pandemic, actually, the head of transit said to Roger and to me, "Oh, we are going to stop paying that because it's not in the contract." Well, unfortunately, the contract is binding, but other things are not binding. So there is rules, laws that pertains to when they want to change our working conditions. And one with what's called the MMBA, feel free to look it up, the Myers-Milius-Brown Act, which affects us all, California state law. And they needed to meet and confer about that. And negotiate about that. They did not do that. And we are in the process. We went to PERB, the Public Employees Relations Board, and we were working with a mediator type person there. The agency wouldn't budge. And so we are going on to a full PERB hearing. Now, a lot of operators were upset because they had been paid that for years and we're just letting it slip away. We're not letting it slip away. It was not ever in the contract, and it's unfortunate. It would have been nice if it was in the contract before. This is going to be somewhat of a long battle. It's going to cost some money, as all legal proceedings do, but I wish us luck with that. And my biggest thing is, I'm a Presidio operator. Of course, I'm working the union office right now, but as a Presidio operator, if I'm not on the floating extra board, I'm supposed to be working at Presidio. Michael Dennis, I can see you there. You're a Presidio operator. You were pulling out of Woods. He got paid to go to Woods because he wasn't a floating extra board guy. So my thing is, it's like, how can they get away with this? Because in the future, if we were to lose this, they could just say, you go there, you go there, you go there. So we've been battling this for about a year now. There were some rumors that we weren't. Once again, rumors. But things take time with the court systems, with PERB, for anybody who thinks it's fast, they haven't done this before. All right, so we'll keep you updated if there's any changes on that. And thank you, Roger.
Awesome, perfect.
And our lawyer, Sochi, is doing a great job of giving us coaching, and she will be there and participating with us. And she's a great lawyer. She's always there, ready to give us any legal advice that we need. Thank
Awesome. You. Fantastic. All right, let's hear from Chairperson Galdames over at Green MME Division in terms of the new chairperson. Chairperson Galdames, go ahead.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Ramon.
Thank you, Roger. Thank you, Reconcile. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to I think it's a milestone what we have achieved. We came together on this, and we just took the bull, from the horns, and we won't let it go. So now we have split two divisions. Congratulations to the elected official, Len Lau. I think she potentially can become a great addition for ourselves. I just want to remind everyone that, this is not an easy task. It's not for everyone. I mean, everybody can participate, but there are times, and, you're just as good as long as the honeymoon lasts, and then the people will be throwing pellets at you or something. There being times where I don't even know how I lasted for 5.5 years, having to go back and forth and everything. I always wanted to make some changes, and it's good that, the board came backing me behind me, and we work together as a team. And many thanks to all of you guys that made this possible. I think this would have not been possible if you guys didn't believe that this could have been done. So, Len, I'm there for you. I can be potentially your mentor, your coach, walking through the process. I have made easier to file grievances. When I first came, I was not, nobody held my hands, like Roger stated before. I think, we're willing to make changes and welcome everybody. I know we only as good for, our terms is only for 3 years. But the bottom line is the people who come in, I can feel myself now. I can see myself now more like, I can assert myself. I know where I'm standing when I'm standing besides management. I know what my position is. Many of the union officers don't feel like they're equal. Like when they train us, you are equal to management, and we represent the reconciled. And one of the things that you want to do basically is being faithful and to the rank and file. You have to have a thick skin, because there's a lot of people that will never be happy no matter what you do. Basically, you always got to perform 100%. But yeah, I encourage everyone, green operators, rail operators, to join us. And if you feel that you have what it takes, and you probably can bring some good ideas to the board, I mean, and you become elected, yes, I'll be there to assist you. So congrats to Len. We'll be looking forward. I'm already tasking myself with looking out for searching for beautiful gems that we have that they want to support our union, and they want to become vice chairs, and they want to become also secretaries. I'm willing to extend my hand and just give them a trial, and then they're gonna come in right now just for the uninspired term, but then eventually they're gonna have to go right there and run for themselves. So I give you a lending hand. I give you my support. I have accumulated a lot of wisdom through, and yeah, the time is here now. We're nearing one more term. I'm unafraid. I think I done basically the best I could. Maybe I could have done better, but I think we have achieved a lot of things, and I'm happy to see new faces now. So Roger, board, rank and file, thank you everyone for your support.
All right, thank you for that, Chairperson Galdames. That does it for the agenda that we had here. I'd like to ask any of the other executive board members or the joint executive board, any other union representatives, have any updates pertaining to your barn, to your members, anything new, different, whether it's good or bad, that you would like to highlight, that you would like to mention to our members, anything pertaining to rails, cable cars, LRVs, PCCs, trolleys, whatever the case may be. If there's any other union rep that would like to give an update pertaining to their barn, please feel free to raise your hand or do a virtual, and we'll call on you. If not, I'll open it up to questions, comments, concerns, inquiries, etc. Okay, we have the vice chairperson for the miscellaneous 7410 automotive service workers. Go ahead, Vice Chairperson Al Gonzalez.
Yeah, hi. I'd like to welcome the new 16 automotive service workers that just joined the agency. And I just want to let them know that we have a meeting with upper management next week. And I know one of their biggest concern is the shoe vouchers, the safety shoe vouchers. So that will be brought up in our meeting, and hopefully we can get an answer to them. We'll also be looking into their 2 shop jackets that they haven't received yet. So please, again, if they're on here, please reach out to me if you have any other questions or concerns, and we'll do our best to get to them in a timely manner. And that's about it.
Thank you for that update, Vice Chairperson Al Gonzalez, for the 7410 automotive service workers. I will join you at that meeting with upper management to find out about the shoe allowance. Okay, next up we have Brendan Bartholomew. Please go ahead, Brendan Bartholomew.
Thank you, Roger. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay,
Brendan.
excellent. So I want to mention an interesting and good development. Many woods operators have been aware that with the 27 Bryant perpetually for years now, they have not given us enough time to complete those trips, and they haven't listened to us. So I want to thank Lori Woods Bowman, the Woods chairperson. Several months ago, she collected a bunch of miscellaneous reports from a bunch of 27 Bryant operators and submitted all those reports. And finally, after all this time, the agency is listening to us. A lot of you have probably heard that they're increasing the number of buses on the 27 Bryant. My question, which Lori had been unable to answer for sure, was, oh, okay, that's nice. There's going to be an extra bus out there at any given moment, but are they giving us extra time? So what I did is I looked at the train. Looking at the paddle and the range don't really tell the whole story. So I actually had to look at the train for my run on the 27, which is run 214. I looked at the train for what it looks like right now and what it's going to look like in this summer sign up that we've got coming. Right now, the train gives you a total of 90 minutes of recovery time, and not counting the time that you're pulling into the yard, unless my math is wrong, it's 317 minutes of driving the bus. But with this new, now that they've actually changed the time a little bit, that same run, they now expect you to get the same 4.5 trips done in 8 hours and 27 minutes instead of 8 hours and 5 minutes. So what this works out to is, with the old version of the run, it was 90 minutes of recovery time. Now we get 109 minutes of recovery time. And with the old version, it was 317 minutes of driving time. Again, that's not counting the time it takes to pull it back into the yard. With the new version of the run, it's 367 minutes of driving time. So we're getting an extra 19 minutes of recovery time and an extra 50 minutes of driving of time that they're expecting us to take to complete those trips. It's still not enough, but again, I want to commend Lori and to everybody else watching. You know, this is an example of a nuts and bolts thing that our labor union is doing for us that produced a tangible result that's good. More recovery time, more time to get the trips done. And again, still not enough time, but it's a step in the right direction.
Wow, that was very detailed down to the minute, Brendan. Thank you very much. That's a lot of work.
I'm not 100% sure that my math is correct, because it's hard to go through the train and figure out exactly how many minutes each thing takes, but that's my best effort at the math. And if somebody wants to check my math, they're welcome to do it. But this should make life a little bit better for 27 Bryant operators. And again, that's our union chairperson and local 258 at work. You know, that's not glamorous. It's not a big giant win, but it's an example of the many little things that the union does to make our lives better.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Brendan. Thank you very much, Chairperson Bowman. And we'll have Michael Dennis double check those numbers for you to see if you're off by 1 minute. Okay. All right. Any other questions, comments, inquiries pertaining to David Gonzalez, who just presented earlier today, pertaining to Mike Leary from Back First, pertaining to the new contract going into place on July 1st, or pertaining to the elections that are going to be held in December of this year? Any other questions or comments from anyone on the call? Please feel free to raise your hand, because if there is nothing, then there's nothing else on the agenda unless anybody else wants to bring up any other issues. All right, looks like it's going to be a short meeting then, you guys, and we'll let you guys know, if we're able to get back in person next month, hopefully, crossing our fingers. And like I stated earlier, we're trying to do some type of a hybrid situation here. So, we will keep you guys updated. Oh, there is one person here that says 2 people now. Okay, Christian Reyes. Go ahead, Christian Reyes.
Hey, Roger, same topic. I believe we all have the same problem, different divisions, but it's something that we need to look into with this new sign up coming up. I believe we're not the only 2 divisions having this kind of problems with this type of runs. I just give you an example. We have operators trying to meet time when we shouldn't be. Operators speeding up, operators taking lights. Obviously, if you're making time, it's because you're speeding, it's because you're taking lights, you're not taking your time during your trips, and that's not safe for you. That creates an unsafe environment for you and for everyone else also. And it makes SFMTA believe that since we're making time, we're good, and that's not the correct way to approach it. I believe we just need to, whoever has the power to look into this scheduling, this planning, please do so. Because we do have a problem. For example, I can only speak for what I see. And one of the problems I see in our division out of Flint is the 14 Rapid. 43 minutes, 44 minutes, 45 minutes is not enough from main admission to Daly City BART. That is an impossible trip, especially on the mission. You will never, never make that time unless you're speeding. Like I said before, I know I'm repeating myself, but this will bring a lot of problems down, a lot of accidents down, a lot of incidents down, a lot of fallen boards down, because you want to get out of that bus stop right away because you don't want to have your doors open so much that it's gonna get your bus full. It's gonna, I mean, honestly, having more time in this run and these trips, it will decrease incidents, fallen boards, accidents. Like I said, I know this, we're not the only ones who are having this kind of problems, but I believe everyone else in every division is having them. We just need to look into the range, the paddles and all those stuff. If I see it, and I know everyone else is seeing it, we just need to bring it up officially and do something about it. Have a ride along, have those people from planning and scheduling have a ride along with you know, running the bus at the right speed, doing your stops, and obeying all the traffic laws. They will see that we need more than 43 minutes because it's gonna be a big problem eventually if that continues. On top of that, when we arrive to Daly City BART, we just don't only need to unload all those passengers at Daly City BART. We need to come back up, and they only give us 11, 12 minutes of recovery. That is not fair. That's kind of not fair. And by the time you go to the bathroom, you already got to leave again. And we need to look into those two things: run time and recovery time for the 14 Rapid in this case. Thank you.
Copy that. Thank you very much for that, Christian Reyes. And once again, I will reiterate this. You asked, you know, we bring it up to the people that have the power to change this. The people that have the power to change this is the transit operators. We are the ones that are able to either follow the law or break the law. Julie Kirschbaum, Jeff Tumlin, Lita Rosier, Brent Jones, they are not going to do that because they do not drive the bus. The people that have the power to do that is only the transit operators. If you are late 30 to 40 minutes, that's great for you. I will give you an ovation. I'll clap my hands. I will shake your hand. I will salute you if you arrive every single day 30 to 45 minutes late to your trip, because that means you are following the rules, you're following the law. That is outstanding. I'll give you a gold star, a golden ticket, because you are following the law. The people that have the ability to change that is the transit operators. That's who has the power. Because if you, Christian Reyes, are late every single day 40 to 50 minutes, and your follower is late 40 to 50 minutes every day, and your follower's follower, and your follower's follower, guess what? Then there's a paper trail. It's being documented. So it is not going to happen by any of the people that I just mentioned by first and last name. It is going to happen by the people that have the power, which is the transit operators. And if you keep driving past the switches at 13 miles an hour, you're breaking the rules, you're breaking the law, and you're screwing us over. If you are not making complete stop signs at stop signs, then you are being part of the problem, not the solution. So the people that have the power to change that is the transit operators. And I hope that you can help spread that message today and tomorrow to your leader, your follower, your relief, your follower's follower, your classmates, etc. Because when we get on that page, then everything will change, because the agency will have it documented that, damn, Christian Reyes is late every single day, 45 minutes, and his follower is late 45 minutes, and his follower's follower, and his follower's follower's follower. Maybe we should change the paddles. That's how that works. But like you stated, Christian, if you keep on speeding and if you don't take your rest breaks and if you run through the stop signs and if you run through the switches, guess what the agency is going to say? Well, you're able to do it, so why should we change anything? You're complaining? Well, doesn't look like that on paper, doesn't look like that on TMC. Looks to me like you're running hot on TMC. So the people that have the power to change that is the transit operators, you guys. Let's work together, try and get on that same page. Next up, it says George's iPad. Go ahead, George's iPad. You have to unmute yourself. You have to unmute yourself, George's iPad.
There, good evening, everyone.
Hi, George.
I just wanted, good evening, Roger. I just wanted to piggyback sort of what everybody's been talking about. One thing that I wanted to speak about that no one really speaks about is that our pre-trip time. Every day they give us just 15 minutes to pre-trip, but they hand us a booklet every morning to read over of memos and street changes and the latest information from the SFMTA. And we're supposed to read all that. You know, they give you 7, 8, 9 pages sometimes, depending on which route you're doing. Sometimes it's just 3 pages. Either way, they expect you as part of it, your pre-trip and your paddle, they hand you this little booklet full of pages and you're supposed to read it so that you know what you're supposed to be doing or anticipating as you go on your run. But you only have 15 minutes in the morning to do your pre-trip. So those things take a back burner. Is there any possibility we could change our pre-trip time to 20 minutes? Give us 5 minutes to sit there and read all this stuff, because sometimes you don't get to read until you get to the other end or right before and you're driving and you're like, oops, I didn't know this reroute was there. You know, it's like there's all this paperwork. You can't possibly do your pre-trip and read all that paperwork. And that's all I wanted to talk about.
Good point. Thank you for that, George. We're going to we'll bring that up tomorrow at the grievance committee meeting because it deals with health and safety. So thank you for that. We'll bring it up tomorrow. Pete Wilson, do me a favor and please just note that down, jot it down, so we can bring it up to the grievance committee members tomorrow. Next up is Tara Amato. Go ahead, Tara. You have to unmute yourself.
Hi there. How are you?
Hi, Tara.
Okay, I want to just respond to what he just said about the 20 minute for the pre-trip. You know, all the paperwork, you always call TMC and let them know that you left the yard late. When you do your radio check, you know what I'm saying? They'll ask you what you were doing, but you still have a legit, because sometimes the buses don't move out as fast as they need to be out. And you know what I'm saying, you got to go through buses. So as long as you call TMC and let them know, they haven't tripped with me. But my other question, my other issue was, it's really not an issue. It's just a transit talk. Transit talk is for the operators to, talk about what's really going on in the job. You know what I'm saying? Not bicker and not, do little crazy things, I don't think that is fair. Whoever the moderators is, whoever's in control of, that they delete people posts. I mean, not their posts, their comments. Because my comments been, and I don't curse. I don't try to curse. I try to uplift, encourage, and give information. Right? I don't try to put nobody down or anything. So I felt disrespected because I posted it and then I posted twice and both of them was deleted, and it was all work related. So I just feel like, I don't know. I mean, I know I could unjoin it, but you get a lot of information through transit talk, but it's just like, it's just for the people to do that, to someone that I don't try to start drama or anything, but people to do that, that's not cool, because we all have opinions. And we should, and if we putting posts out there for people to get feedback on, why would the moderator come in and take it off, take it off the post, delete it, erase it, or whatever, however he did it. You feel what I'm saying? How if it's not nothing that's derogatory.
Understood, Tara. Sorry about that post or those posts that were deleted. Sometimes Facebook does weird things, but since that's a transit talk, Facebook related issue, we're not gonna get into a back and forth on this one. I'll just say, I'm sorry about that. We will fix that. You are definitely one of the most positive, uplifting, and encouraging people that I've ever seen in terms of just, being positive with your words of encouragement. So we'll definitely look into that, and it won't happen again. Okay, Tara?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right, you
Right.
guys. If there's anybody else, feel free to raise your hand or do a virtual, put it in the chat. Pete Wilson is helping to monitor the chat there.
Roger, I just
anybody-
want to say something.
Pete, go
I
ahead.
want to say thank you, Tara, that first part you said in response to George Cruz out of Kirkland's comment. 100% agree, Roger, what you said before, we're in charge of this, we're in charge of this. We're in charge of when we leave the yard. And, I pull out 5 minutes late, they're going to write me up. I'm going to call TMC. Every time I pulled out like really late, I call TMC. What's going on? Well, there's a bus in front of me. Well, the whatever doesn't work. So just feel free to hit that button, And if they, what annoys me is when you hit the button to radio check and it takes them a long time to radio check it, they don't have enough people. Sorry, I don't pull out until my radio's checked. Kirkland and Woods were having a lot of people written up for not radio checking. So,
Thank
we
you for
need more
that.
time, take more time and call TMC.
Words of encouragement from everybody on the call, you guys. So thank you very much. Don't see anybody else on the call. Like I said, it is probably going to be a short meeting, but as always, we're bringing you the facts, the updates, and the latest information pertaining to our overall general working conditions. We'll let you guys know later on pertaining to everything else that happens, all right? As soon as I unmute everybody, feel free to say hi, bye, good night, all that good stuff. And a quick word in case you guys want to have in-person meetings or online, just say either online or in person, just to sort of get a feel for how you guys feel pertaining to, whether you guys want to do online or in person. All right, you guys. Oh, wait. There's two more people that raise their hands. Okay, Ron Austin and then Terrell. Go ahead, Ron Austin. You have to unmute yourself there, Ron Austin. Go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me?
We can hear you, Ron Austin.
How are you? I just had a question. What was the total amount of people who participated in the ratification vote for our MOU that's coming up?
Michael Dennis, do you have the exact number?
It was 458.
Okay, and how many members total do we have right now?
About 2,300.
Okay,
Counting everybody who's on, leave and stuff. Everyone eligible.
everybody who's out. Yeah, okay. My only concern, and first let me preface this by saying that I don't really have a huge problem with the contract itself or how the negotiations were carried out. But such a small number of people who actually participated in the ratification vote, we cannot say that that is a true representation of the will of the membership. Now it passed, and like I said, I don't have a problem with that, but I would hope that for future ratifications, or especially the election process that's going to occur in 6 months, that we go back to our original model of having an election booth or have the poll set up in each respective division, because that tenfold increases the participation of the membership in the union's business. I'm not quite sure. I have a vague idea of why we had a mail-in ballot, and it could have been COVID precautions or time or logistics called for a mail-in ballot. But from the results that we had with so few people taking part in the ratification vote, I think from this point forward, I mean, historically, politically, the lower the turnout, you have a lot of people who aren't involved in the process and they become apathetic. And I think that kind of showed itself with when you add these additional steps, the ballot has to go out. Some people, now this is just rumor, so I can't substantiate it, but Some people say they never got the ballot or the ballot went to the wrong address. If we kind of wipe out all of those variables and go back to what we did before, we could have more of a representative process with voting on important things like MOUs and officer elections later on in the future. So my question is that, are we done with the mail-in ballots? And for the upcoming election in December, will we be voting in each division on the platform?
That is going to be discussed by the executive board next month. It's on the agenda, and they're reviewing the official notice that went out last year in November 2021, and the official notice, which is going to be going out sometime next month. So that's still in the process. It's on the agenda for next month's meeting for the executive board.
Okay, thank you.
I want to add, I want to say, Ron, thank you for that. It is disappointing to have such a low turnout. And I just want to add a little bit of information to those numbers. On the mail-in, we allowed for time for wrong addresses, to be returned to us, and then contact the member and get the right address. I only had, out of all 2,000, I had 18 of those. Only 18 came back with the wrong address. I spent a whole day reaching out. I reached pretty much all of them and got the right address in time to send a replacement ballot. And then we had a couple of people, we also had a couple of people that called, it never came back to us, and they called and they said that they didn't get one. And there was plenty of time for them to get a replacement too. So, I'm disappointed, as you are. And I'm not sure exactly what the reason is, considering that 99% of people absolutely got a ballot, and with plenty of time to vote, So we got to look at this. I don't find any records of any participation in past ratifications. I'm with you. There was probably hopefully more than 25%, absolutely. And we got to do whatever we need to do to get those numbers up. But one last thought, of the ballots that we got, the 25% that we got, it was a 3-to-1 ratio vote on yes. So if that's any comfort, that sometimes a small sampling like that is reflective of the larger group, even when you don't hear from them particularly. So it was overwhelmingly passed by the small group that we did get ballots from. And we're not minimizing that the small turnout. We're all disappointed at the turnout. So thank you for bringing that up. And
thank you for letting me know about the additional steps that you took to try to kind of rein those loose ballots in that had come back with return to sender. That extra effort is awesome, but I think us as a labor union, we have to try. The big part is to include everyone and try to reach out to everyone, because then you have an actual pulse of what's going on in the membership. Now we know what the pulse of the membership is, and by your language or by your explanation of the sample size, which is totally correct, that it overwhelmingly passed. But there's still that mystery variable that when you have 75% of the membership that didn't cast a ballot, and the shortest point from A to B for me would be that we go back to our original model, because you're right, it's hard to kind of find that data from the past if we haven't been keeping it or collecting it. But at the same time, if you have people coming in and picking up a paddle in the morning and walking over and casting their ballot, it's a greater moment of participation, and also a greater window to the actual feelings of the membership, and it more so in its entirety. But I totally appreciate what you've done, Michael, and thank you for the explanation.
You're welcome. Thank you, Ron.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay, next up is Terrell Williams. Go ahead, Terrell Williams.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Roger, can you hear me?
Okay, hold on a second. Terrell, try unmuting yourself again.
Hi, Roger. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
we can hear you, Terrell. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry everyone, I'm en route to work, but just a quick comment, and I don't know if this is the right platform, but to the members that are here, specifically transit operators, I just want to kind of make a comment and give some awareness to shared facilities and equipment, especially because I'm an out operator. So the one thing I want to say is that, like, to fellow operators, be aware that your coworkers are going to use the equipment that you may use, you know, the buses, facilities like the restrooms. So just kind of be aware of the usage. Sometimes at night, by the time we come on, the restrooms are really unkept. And it's not an agency thing. It's in usage, you know, be aware of spit, urine, chewing gum, sunflower seeds like that. Someone else has to come and use it. A lot of times at night, the cleaning crew may not come until after midnight, even if you contact TMC. So just to share my comment here, be aware that someone else is going to come and use the restroom, and just be mindful of yourself and the usage of shared facilities and equipment. Be kind to your fellow operators. And that's all. Again, sorry if this wasn't the platform. This is the only way that I knew to reach out to maybe other operators that were here.
This indeed is the platform, Terrell. All of our network sites are the platform. So thank you very much for bringing that to our attention. Please, you guys, be respectful, mindful, courteous, professional when we are out there, you know, for our leaders, for our reliefs, for our classmates, etc. So please do that, you guys, in the name of health, safety, courtesy, respect, professionalism. All right, you guys. If there's nothing else, then we will simply adjourn the meeting unless I see somebody else. And like I said, you guys, please feel free to unmute yourselves. And when you unmute yourselves, I'm just curious. I'd like to hear just one word, either whether you prefer doing the meetings in person or online. So before zooming out, just say online or in person. I'm just real curious what people are feeling. So go ahead and feel free to unmute yourselves, you guys. Have a good night, and this will shut down in a
Hybrid.
couple of minutes.
Hybrid.
I agree with everyone. We should have hybrid for some of us who cannot make it, who live so far away, or and our family times is limited as operators as it is. So a hybrid would be great. Sometimes we can go in person, and sometimes we're not able to be able to just join in online still.
Copy that. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful night, everyone.